we saw about the second lesson, microorganisms, friend and foe. Is it not? Okay, before that, hope you are all watching the video class and writing the classwork and completing the worksheets. So, okay, but in this pandemic situation, we are not able to come to school and we are all using the electronic gadgets like the mobile or the laptop or the computers to watch the class. At that time, you may be watching the class continuously. Even though we are posting only one subject daily, you have to watch it for more than half an hour like that. Nearly 1 hour you may be using that and for writing purpose and for revising. At that time, if you watch continuously, the lubricancy of your eyes, that means the fluid in your eyes may become dried up. So in order to avoid that, you have to take care of your eyes also. You should be having good health to study, is it not? So in order to take care of your health, you have to take care of your eyes because your eyes only will be affected more. In order to avoid that, while watching the classes, once you take out 15 minutes, you have to close and open your eyes to maintain the moisture content in your eyes. Okay, don't forget to blink your eyes often while watching the class. Understand? Hope you all will do this. Now, in the last class, we saw about the lesson 2, microorganisms, friend and foe. That is, what are microorganisms, who discovered them, and what are the beneficial activities. Because of the microorganisms, we are benefited and also we are affected. So, in the last part, we saw how microorganisms are beneficial for us. Do you remember the points? Shall we recall once again? Okay. Microorganisms are living everywhere, from ice-cold regions and also to very hard climate, even in deserts, they are able to survive. And these microorganisms are useful in many ways in our day-to-day life. For example, in the making of bread, in the bakeries, day-to-day life, in the making of bread, then cake. Next, in the production of medicines, in the field of medical field also, it is very useful in the preparing antibiotics. And while preparing the antibiotics, microorganisms are useful. Then, in commercial purpose also it is very useful. That is in the manufacture of alcohol, wine, then in the production of vinegar, that is nothing but acetic acid. Everything is used because of these microorganisms. Not only that, in case of agriculture, it increases the fertility of the soil. Is it not? The decomposers convert the dead and decayed matters into the useful products, nitrogenous products or something like that. The waste will be decomposed and it will be converted into humus, which increases the fertility of the soil and it will increase the production of the yield. So everything we discussed in the last class. That is the beneficial activities of microorganisms. Today in this class we are going to see about the harmful activities. Now we are going to see about the harmful activities of the microorganisms. What are the harmful activities? That means they will bring diseases for us. They are doing good, also bad. That means it will bring various diseases to us, not only for human beings, but also for plants and in animals also. Microorganisms cause diseases. How they will bring the diseases? Some microorganisms cause diseases and they are called germs or pathogens. Communicable and non-communicable diseases. What is communicable? It spreads from one person to another. Spreads from one person to another through the carriers. How it is transferred from one person to another person? Through the carriers. What are those carriers? That means it is transmitted to one from another through some media. That means through air, water, or from one person to another by having contact with their belongings. If someone is having a cold or fever, and they will use their own things, is it not, their belongings like hankies or towels or some eating vessels like that, plates, spoons and all. And if it is not washed properly, and if some other person come and touch that, the germs or the pathogens present in them will attach with some other also, and they will bring diseases to that healthy person also. So in this way, the diseases will spread from one person to another through air. The moisture content will spread through air or through water. Nowadays, while we are all at home, you are all at home separately, and we have to maintain the distance, maintain 6 feet distance, 3 feet distance, like that. They are saying no. Why? Because the virus, the microorganism virus, will spread through the moisture content. While we are speaking, while we are sneezing, the moisture content will spray in the air, and through the air it will spread to the other persons. So the germs or the pathogens will carry disease from one person to another. Example for communicable diseases, example common cold. Then fever like typhoid or flu, typhoid. Like this, many diseases will spread from one person to another through various factors. Such diseases are called communicable diseases. Non-communicable diseases means this disease will not spread. It will not spread to other persons. That means, for example, the sugar. Nowadays you can, if some older people, your grandmas are at home, means they will have sugar like that your parents may say. And it is not a communicable. It will affect only that person. It will not spread to your family members or any others. So such diseases, heart diseases, like that, it will not spread to others. Such diseases are called non-communicable diseases. Understand? Now the diseases are of two types, and the diseases are carried by some other factors called pathogens, microorganisms which spread the diseases are called pathogens. And the diseases are of two types, communicable and non-communicable. Communicable disease means which spreads from one person to another. Example, common cold, fever, like flu, typhoid, etc. And this spreads through carriers. For example, some insects or houseflies, mosquitoes. They also, the mosquitoes will bite a healthy person, sick person, and it will absorb the blood from them. When it bites another person, that germs through the blood it will be transmitted to normal person, and the disease will spread. You know that a housefly, it may fly everywhere, sit on the food items, open food items. At that time, it may, some pathogens may attach to their body. Then these flies visit some other food items, and if it sits, because the houseflies may sit in all the places, everywhere it will sit, and the pathogens may attach to their body. When it fly and sit in another thing, the pathogens may be transmitted. So like that, it carries the germs or the pathogens from one place to another, and it is responsible for spreading the diseases. So they are called as carriers. Through these carriers also, the diseases are spread. So the diseases which spread from one person to another person are called communicable diseases. And the diseases which are not spread to others are called non-communicable diseases. virus. These are caused by the microorganism virus, and this also spread through air and also through the contact. If anybody is having chicken pox, everyone will get the disease chicken pox once in their lifetime. Only if they are affected, their body will develop the immune against that disease. So, if they are affected means, you might have seen they will be kept separated in their house. They will not allow them to come and mingle with others because it will spread to others. Your friends or you might also have chicken pox and you will take leave at that time. You will be isolated. Isolated means separated for certain duration, for 1 week or 10 days like that. Then only you will be allowed to come to school because it will spread to others. Not only chicken pox, this polio, measles, everything. Nowadays polio was eradicated, so no problem. Then measles also it will come to all. And these and all, they will spread through air and also through contact. If someone is having this disease means, for example, if your friend is having started with chicken pox means, for 2 or 3 days, 1 or 2 days, we might not know that they are having that infection, and they may be using their scale, pencil, book and notebooks, and as a neighbor, if you are sitting by them, there is a chance for you also for that spreading to have that disease. The virus will spread to the neighbors also. That is why you are not allowed to come to school. So that is the contact. Touching that means having contact with their belongings, what and all things they are using. If it is used by others, it will spread to that person also. Then, how can we avoid this? Preventive measures. Isolation. That person, affected person, should be kept separated. They should not be allowed to mingle. Now for this coronavirus also, we are maintaining distance. If anyone is affected, means they are isolated for a certain period. Now you might have heard in TV news and isolation ward like that. They will be separated from others. That is what isolation. Keep personal belongings away. What and all they are using, it should be kept separately. It should not be mingled with other things. Then vaccination. Already in the previous class I said about the vaccination. That means if you ask your parents, they will have a separate chart itself from your birth till date. They will have a vaccination chart. What and all vaccinations was given to you with date, with the doctor's signature, everything, all the details will be there. How much dosage was given, the company name, medicine name, everything will be there in the chart. That is called vaccination. And what is vaccination and how it is prepared in the last class we discussed. I think you all remember. So that vaccination may be given. Once the vaccination will be given, but surely the disease will come for us, but the severity will be very less. It will not affect much. It will come, our body will acquire immunity against the disease. For that only we are putting the vaccine. So the vaccine should be put for everyone. So these are the preventive measures for tuberculosis, measles, chickenpox and polio. The next one, cholera and typhoid. Those two are fever. In liver is the largest gland in our body. I think you all know that liver will be getting swelling. It will enlarge in size. It will be affected, and this is because of some infection caused by virus. Because of the viral infection, the disease hepatitis A will be caused, and this is also the mode of transmission is water. If the water is impure, there is a chance for getting that hepatitis A. And what is the preventive measure? Naturally, drink boiling water and vaccination. Vaccination is nowadays for almost all the diseases. Vaccinations have come, and if we put that vaccine means we may not be affected by such diseases. Avoid drinking the water without boiling it. If you do that means you can avoid hepatitis A. Next one, malaria. Malaria is also the fever, common fever caused by protozoans. Protozoans, classification of microorganisms itself, I say that what is that? Chlamydomonas, Euglena, and all these things. Those are all aquatic organisms living in water. So, and these is spread through mosquito. Now only I say malaria, Anopheles female mosquito only spread malaria. It's not. So mosquito is the main mode of transmission for malaria. It is a protozoan. And how can we prevent that malaria? By using the mosquito net. The best way is we have to prevent mosquito by using the mosquito net or using some repellents, mosquito repellent, which will chase that mosquito. Or you should avoid water stagnation. Why we should avoid water stagnation in our surroundings? Because mosquitoes will breed in water and it will multiply, and the mosquitoes will increase, and this will lead to the various diseases. So we have to avoid water stagnation in our surroundings. Understand? So these are the various human diseases caused by different microorganisms, bacteria, viruses, and protozoans, and how they spread from one person to another, and how can we prevent that? How can we avoid from the diseases? Everything is explained in this tablet column. You should be thorough with this. Now, these are the common human diseases. Now, common plant diseases. So, microorganisms not only bring diseases to human, but also to animals and also to plants. So, in plants, some common diseases. For example, you know lemon. You might have seen. In the lemon, on the top portion or on the surface of the lemon, you can see some black dot like that. It is nothing but the disease called citrus canker. You may have vomiting, you may have some fever, high fever like that. And if you go to the doctor or severe stomach pain, and the doctor will say food poisoning. What is that food poisoning and how it occurs? This is also because of the microorganisms, harmful microorganisms. And this is spread because of the insects, also houseflies, or fungal growth. See, why the parents are saying to avoid the street foods which is sold in the side of the street and all. It may be kept open, and on that food, flies may come and sit. These flies, house flies, are also carriers of the microorganisms. It may sit in several places and it will come and sit on the food product also. And that will carry the pathogens and it will spread diseases. This is one reason. Another one is the growth, the fungal growth. One is food poisoning because of the carriers. Another one is because of the fungal growth on the food. In the food items, it will have the molds. Already we studied about the bread mold in fungus and all. Like that, the molds may develop on the surface of the food, and it will produce some toxic substances. Toxic means what? Some poisonous, which will bring illness to us. So that the toxic substances will produce diseases. The food, what it will make the food poisonous, not suitable for eating. Unknowingly we may eat, that means it will bring some diseases to us. That is called food poisoning. That is why we should avoid the street foods. Only the food which are covered properly only we have to eat. Next, another one. How this food can be preserved. The next topic is food preservation. The next topic is food preservation. And in the first lesson, in the crop production and management, you studied about that storage. Is it not? It should not have the moisture content. Then only it should be dried in the sun and it should be stored in the godowns or granaries or silos like that. You study the various steps. In the same way, the cooked food also should be preserved. Why it should be preserved? The cooked food, we cannot keep it for a long time. And also, some food, it will not be available in all the seasons. For example, let us take mango. In which season we will get the mango? In summer season. But whenever you like to have mango juice or whatever some items made out of mango, like jelly or squashes and all, now it is available. How is it possible? Because it is stored under certain conditions and it is made available in all the seasons. Okay, such type of preserving food to available, which is made to available in all the periods, called food preservation. For this, different methods are there. In the first one, chemical preservation. Using chemicals like sodium benzoate. Example, sodium benzoate and sodium metabisulfite. Sodium metabisulfite. These two are the chemicals used to preserve the food. These are the chemicals that is allowed to add with the food items to preserve the food materials. Using dry under the sunlight. And insects will move. Is it not? Before storing itself, after getting from the shop itself, grocery shop, what they will do is they will spread in the sunlight and allow it to dry for the whole day. Then only they will store in the container. Why they are doing so? Because sunlight is a natural disinfectant and the moisture content in the food will be removed. If the moisture content is there, means the growth of microorganisms is likely to grow in those food grains. So it should be dried properly. So removal of moisture content through drying is called drying method of preservation. Next, third one, adding salt. Adding salt to some food items. For example, meat and fish and all. From the olden days itself, what they will do means they will add more salt. For example, dried fish, in Tamil it is called as karwad. More salt will be added to that and it will be allowed to dry in the sunlight. So what will happen means the salt will remove the water content, it will absorb the water content in the food item and the food item will be dried and it will be stored for a long time, even for 1 year or 2 years it will be kept and it will not get spoiled because microorganisms will not grow in these circumstances. Okay, next one, by adding sugar. To certain food items they will add salt and for certain food items they will add sugar. You all know, example, jams, jellies, squashes, like that. Squashes means what? Mixture of juices. 2 or more fruit juices are mixed together, means that is what squashes. So, that to the color of the fruits, sugar may be added and it may be preserved for a certain period of time. That is why we are able to get mango juice even in this season or next month or throughout the year. In this method only, by adding sugar, that will also convert the water content, remove that, absorb that water and it will be, microorganisms will not be able to grow in that. Only if moisture content is there, microorganisms will grow in those food items. So adding sugar, example, jams, jellies and squashes. Next one, by adding oil and vinegar. The next method is by adding oil and vinegar. To which items oil and vinegar and all will be added? To pickles. Example, pickles. I think you all know at home you may have the pickles your mother might have prepared and kept it in a bottle. And above the surface of the pickles, lot of oil will be there, stagnated. Why they are adding more oil means the microorganisms cannot live in such environment. That is why they are adding more salt and oil. It will not allow the microorganisms to develop on them. That environment will not be suitable for the microorganisms to grow. Next one, heat and cold treatments. Next step is heat and cold treatments. The best example for this heat and cold treatment is packed milk or pasteurized milk. Pasteurized milk. What is the pasteurized milk? The milk will be boiled up to 70 degrees Celsius. The milk will be boiled for at a temperature about 70 degrees Celsius for about 20 or 30 seconds. Then while boiling itself, it will be suddenly cooled down. Suddenly it will be cooled down. They will bring the temperature down from 70 degrees Celsius to 0 degrees Celsius. Suddenly it will be chilled. So at the time what happens means the microorganisms present in the milk will be pasteurized milk. But whatever the milk brought by the cycle man nearby your house, that and all you should boil, then only you have to drink, because lot of germs will be there. But in this milk, pasteurized milk, no germs will be present. It is germ-free milk. So these are the various methods. Next one, nitrogen fixation. Already you know about this nitrogen fixation. Which bacteria helps for nitrogen fixation in the soil? Yes, rhizobium. Is it not? Rhizobium bacteria fixes atmospheric nitrogen in leguminous plants in the root nodules and helps for the plant's growth. And how this nitrogen is maintained in the environment, because nitrogen is an essential mineral, essential thing in the living organisms, not only for human beings but also for plants and animals growth. Nitrogen is very essential, and in the atmosphere 70% is present. This nitrogen is present in the atmosphere, up to 78% in the atmosphere. Which gas is most abundant? That is present in more quantity. More percentage means 70% nitrogen only present. But it is used regularly by plants, with human beings and everything. Then how it is maintained? Regularly used means the percentage should come down, is it not? But how it is maintained? Because of the nitrogen cycle. This nitrogen is maintained in a cyclic manner. That is called as nitrogen cycle. Next, now let us see about that. In the atmosphere, nitrogen is present, is it not? Atmospheric nitrogen, and it is fixed in the soil. Nitrogenous compounds in soil. So from the atmosphere, how it is brought and fixed in the soil? First one is through lightning. Lightning means what? I think all of you know. Mineral. When raining, before raining, lightning occurs. Is it not? At that time, that electrical charge reacts with that nitrogen, and it comes down and settles in the soil as nitrates, nitrogenous compound. Okay, that is one method. Another one, nitrogen fixing bacteria, that is rhizobium, that fixes nitrogen fixing bacteria that takes the nitrogen and converts the atmospheric nitrogen into the compounds of nitrogen, and it fixes that nitrogen into the soil. So in two ways the nitrogen, atmospheric nitrogen, is fixed in the soil. One is through lightning and another one is through the nitrogen fixing bacteria. Next, this nitrogenous compounds in soil is used by plants. Now the plants will uptake. It is used by plants. They will take the nitrogen from the soil for its growth, and these plants will be eaten by animals. Is it not? All animals depend on plants, including human beings. We all eat the plants. From the animals, if the animals die, what will happen? Again it will be decayed and decomposed is again converted into atmospheric nitrogen. That is nitrogenous gas. Released as nitrogenous gas by the bacteria or the microorganisms, and again it will reach the atmospheric nitrogen. So in the cyclic manner, the nitrogen cycle occurs. That is, the atmospheric nitrogen is converted into nitrates by lightning, and it reaches the soil as nitrogen compounds. In another way, nitrogen fixing bacteria absorbs the atmospheric nitrogen, and it fixes the nitrogen in the soil and the root nodules of the plants, and it absorbs the nitrogen for their growth. Then this nitrogenous compound is taken by plants for their growth. These plants are eaten by the animals, and these animals, when they die, they get decayed by microorganisms. Again, they will be converted into nitrogen compounds, and it will be settled in the soil. So again, this nitrogenous compound will be converted into nitrogenous gas by the bacteria, and this nitrogen gas will be used in the atmosphere. So in this way, this nitrogen in cyclic manner, it is maintained in the atmosphere, and 78% nitrogen is present in the atmosphere. Understand? So these are the points we discussed. What are all the diseases caused by microorganisms in humans, then in plants, and in animals also what diseases they bring, and how the microorganisms affect the food items, how it makes the food poisoning, and how can we prevent that food from the microorganisms by food preservation method, various food preservation method we saw. Next one, nitrogen cycle. How